Hey there everybody, my name is Martin McGovern, founder of Career Therapy, and I just wanted to make this video really quick between calls to address something when it comes to resumes. I'm talking to a lot of people, and they are spending a lot of time worrying about the design of their resume. They're using resume templates from the internet, they're paying for templates, they have 2 columns and 3 columns and split columns and colors and photos and all this different stuff on their resume. And I used to do this too. I've had all sorts of different kinds of resumes throughout my career, good, bad, ugly, horrendous, and some of them have worked, some of them have not. And consistently throughout my career, even when I was in more marketing and design type of roles, creative type of roles, the simpler resumes win. And this is something that comes from the marketing world, right? Keep it simple, stupid. You look at someone who has put too much time thinking about their design, maybe even like a small business that uses way too much clip art or something like that, and you go, it probably would have been better if it was just simpler. And who does that the right way? Apple. Apple does that the right way. Look at everything Apple does. It's simple. It's clean. It's design that is the most ubiquitous. Now, why am I saying this? I'm saying this because there are tons and tons of resume builders and template websites and all these different things that say, hey, use our template and improve your job search. And some of these templates look great. I've used many of them. But the thing is, at the end of the day, companies hire differently now. They don't hire by a real person scanning through decks and decks of resumes. It used to be that way. When I was in my first job, I would sit at a table and they would give me 50 to 100 resumes, and I'd literally scan through it, put it in the yes pile, put it in the no pile, put it in the yes pile, put it in the no pile, with a bunch of other people next to me doing the same thing. And that person cared about grammar, and that person cared about design, and that person cared about X, Y, and Z. There's no way to please everyone. But that's not how companies do it anymore. Companies take all the digital resumes and put it through an ATS system, an applicant tracking system. And what that does is it turns it into a text file, which it then tries to scan for keywords and then rank you next to everyone else before putting you at the top of a list or at the bottom of a list. Now, this creates problems. PDFs, which were the go-to way of creating resumes, are now dicier. I don't know if they're wrong. I don't know if they're right. It's hard to say because everyone's ATS system is a little bit different. On LinkedIn, a PDF looks beautiful in the applicant tracking system, and a Word doc looks janky. But there are other applicant tracking systems and companies that say if you send a PDF, it won't be read right, so you better send a Word doc. What do? I'm not really sure there, but what you do is you keep everything as simple as possible. I stick with PDFs. That's just my take, but other people are moving to Word docs, and you have to make that decision for yourself. But the one thing that's consistent is that the more heavily designed your resume, the more icons, the more pictures, the more columns, the worse it is. We don't want to be submitting resumes that have multiple columns because when it gets turned into a text file, it might read it wrong. It might read it, you have a little column on this side and a column on this side, you have your skills over here and your experience over here, and it reads Figma and then goes right into the bullet. Suddenly your skills and your bullets are all merging into what the computer thinks is a single line, a single sentence. So what we want to do is move away from these multiple columns into a full width resume. Less design, less aesthetic, more straightforward and focused. Clean, clear, simple and readable, easy for the person to scan and decide whether or not, easy for the person and the computer to scan and decide whether or not to move you forward or not. So what are the industries that we should be considering for this? Well, there's the basic industries. Like, this isn't really a problem in the legal field or anything like that. Everything is pretty straightforward and simple there. But in the marketing worlds, in the creative worlds, especially in the design worlds, I've had some really ugly resumes, I'm telling you. I had a resume that had a black background with white text and yellow headers. It's like, why are we creating opportunities for people to judge our design our personal design choices. We shouldn't. We should be keeping it as clean as possible and making it as easy for the person who's reading as possible. And that's the key. The whole job search comes down to making things easy for the person who's considering your application. Make it easy for the robot to read. Make it easy with the right keywords so that it gets ranked high in the results. Make it easy by networking with people at the company and finding ways to get referrals and get your resume put on the top of the pile or pulled to the top of the stack. Make it easy for them when they're scanning through so there's not sub-bullets everywhere. Make it easy for them to know what the sections are by giving them standard names instead of these fanciful names. Make it easy for them by making the titles that you had for the jobs relevant to the role. You can change some of your titles a little bit in order to make them as relevant as possible so they can highlight the right information. Make it easy for them with bullets that are clear and concise, that say what you did, not just a bunch of high-level stuff that I can't picture in my head. Make it easy, make it easy, make it easy. The easier you make it on people, the easier they'll make it on you. So keep it simple, keep it focused, and keep all of these things in mind, and let me know if you have any questions. If you want to download a what I like to call the simplest resume template, go over to careertherapy.com. It's on the main page. Hit the button, and you can use that template to reformat your resume. It's just a very standard Google Doc that is as basic as possible, that allows you to communicate the most information the most efficiently. So head over there. It's free. You can just download it. And if you have any questions about the resume, hit me up in the comments here and let me know what's on your mind. I hope you like these job search shorts. We'll be bringing you more of these sporadically, so subscribe to get these notifications in your YouTube. And I will chat with you soon. Thanks so much, everyone. Cheers. Been around this broken down for way too long.